If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to Downfall Network for more cool content. What's up, everyone? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin John.
I'm Shredlord.
And we have an album review for you. So, possibly one of the bigger releases that came out this week is the newest one from Fate's Warning, Long Day, Good Night. This comes out on the 6th of November on Metal Blade Records. This is the band's 13th full length. Now, these guys are old school prog metal. They've been around since 1984, formed in Hartford, Connecticut, and they've pretty much been that same class as like Dream Theater.
They were in the same school as Dream Theater and Queensryche. That is absolutely correct.
More power metal-y in the beginning, but definitely took a hard shift to prog later on. So this current lineup, and I'm not entirely sure how long they've been in here, features Joey Vera of Armored Saint on bass, who actually is an incredible
performance.
Yes.
Incredible bassist. And they also have Bobby Jarzombek, which is the brother of who?
Ron Jarzombek, guitar god. If you're into guitar players and you do not know who Ron Jarzombek is, go listen to some old Watchtower, which is like some people. I guess I would say he's probably the godfather of technical metal guitar.
His brother is definitely no slouch either. He actually did some time in Iced Earth, Halford, played with Sebastian Bach, a lot of notable acts, and solid drummer. I mean, he puts in a killer performance on this as well. And of course, this band is helmed by their longtime guitarist, Jim Matheos, who is an absolutely incredible prog rock guitarist.
Yeah.
So I was kind of excited to get into this one because I've never really dove that far into Fate's Warning's discography. I definitely know No Exit. That's probably the only one I really am super familiar with.
Parallels is a pretty renowned album by them as well.
And jamming the new Armored Saint, you know, hearing another Joey Vera performance, because that dude is a solid bassist, I was intrigued. So right away we get into the opening track, The Destination Onward, and pretty much opens kind of the way I figured it would. It's a straightforward prog metal song.
I was at one with myself during the meditation intro.
Yeah, there was that long intro. It was kind of odd. I was thinking of
We're starting to see the trend again, aren't we, boys? The unnecessary album intros.
Lots of ambient keys, but I mean, when you get down to the meat of it,
with a record marketed as a prog album,
you're gonna have that.
You're gonna have intros.
You're gonna have
build tension and release. This was kind of a long build, but when it gets down to the meat of the song, it sounds pretty good. Now, production-wise, I had some issues with it. This was mixed by Joe Barresi, and Joe Barresi is definitely famous for working with one band in particular, and that is TOOLL. Now, granted, he works with a lot of different bands, but he's done a lot of TOOLL albums, and I have to say the guitar tone is a bit too close to Adam Jones. It's the wrong kind of prog in terms, like, this is like the real
TOOLL's
shredding.
on the opposite end of that spectrum.
Yes.
This guitar tone doesn't really lend itself as well to it. Now, it still sounds pretty good.
It sounds really good in the leads.
Yes.
I think they use two different tones for the rhythm.
Well, the lead in the first song had a much different tone than the leads on the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And the leads on the rest of the album sounded great.
Yeah, they're nasty leads.
But yeah, this was pretty much a good pace setter in terms of what I came to expect. You get into the next two tracks, Shuttered World and Alone We Walk. Pretty much a lot of the same, except I think Shuttered World is a little bit more of a rocker.
Dude, Shuttered World had the drums really out front. Because the bass tone in the first song, the bass work in the first song was sick. And then you get into a Shuttered World and the drums were so powerful that it drowned the bass out.
There was a little bit more to like double bass play too, and like, I mean, he was definitely a bit busier, a little bit more polyrhythmic. But these songs were really fun.
So the first couple songs start out actually pretty strong, like you would expect kind of this throwback OGs of prog metal to sound like in the modern day era. But then the middle of the album kind of takes a very weird turn. It goes new metal in spots, it goes contemporary in spots. The songs went slow, mid-tempo, and it's soft. It just sounded like all these songs in the middle here were just made to be set up for these big kind of hooks. And the hooks just didn't work as well as maybe they thought they would.
It had like a lot of like 80s, 90s rock to it.
Which is
more than prog.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Which is fine. But on a prog album, do you want to be more rock?
They just felt like they kind of plateaued really early. Like, all right, Begin Again has a weird sort of bluesy acoustic thing that honestly we picked up on. It sounded like Monster Magnet's Space Lord, and when the heavier riff comes in, it sounds very nu metal-y, and I didn't really want that on this album. Now granted, you know, progressive means like, hey, let's explore every avenue. Maybe don't go down that one, because you throw like LeJean Witherspoon on here and it will sound like a Sevendust song. It really did. Like, I was just kind of thrown off by that. And then you have Liar, which I was asking where the hell the energy went, because that one just screamed mid-tempo rocker, an absolute filler track. Like, there's a cool bridge on it, but it's not enough to save the song because the song is just really lackluster.
It sounds like a song that somebody's like uncle's band would have wrote, and it's the song that they throw into the cover set, like, yeah man, we're gonna throw our jam in there and they're finally gonna know who the hell we are, and it didn't work. It didn't work.
Now, another one that, well, we thought was going to be kind of a stinker just because it followed a song that we didn't necessarily like, Now Comes the Rain, which is it's just like kind of an alternative rock song.
I was praying for Fogerty to stop the rain.
Yeah. Fogerty, you could have.
Time for a drought. But builds character to be in the drought.
Little drought never hurt nobody.
No.
But the way home, while it starts off like a couple skate in a roller rink in the 80s.
During
Ohio Skate
for a youth group lock-in.
Oh shit. How old are you, man? Oh my fucking god.
That sounds like No Fun was also invited.
Yeah, dude.
John, will you couple skate with me to this Genuine song?
Were you allowed to hold hands, or was that too risque?
There was a yardstick that kept everybody apart, even though we were all together by
we were social distancing
blood of the Lord.
Social distancing was cool.
Yep, we were social distance.
But this song took an interesting turn, and we were both kind of shocked. All of a sudden, a funky bass line comes in, and this turns into a legit awesome prog song.
Yes.
To the point where you just want to kind of take that first part of the song and kind of just...
Yeah, take like the first 3 minutes and just...
It was so unnecessary.
Just
absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's very, very strong. Like, this is a really strong 3/4 of a song. And it really does redeem the rest of it, but it just kind of makes you wonder why such a lackluster opening. Like, it just kind of feels like they were like, we're going to go for the big feels and very emotive, and it just kind of comes across as there. That's like the nicest thing I can really say about it.
It's like, not this band. Like, we could put this in another band and it would be great, but maybe have a little bit more fun.
It's definitely not their strong suit, because when these guys decide to turn on the creative juices, they fucking put out some tasty ass jams, such as the second to last track on this album, which was easily by far in a way the best song on the entire album.
No gem of the album, maybe even the gem of their career.
I mean, I'm sure they've written awesome songs like this before, but my God,
was
everything about it is absolutely kick-ass. It builds tension well. Like, the entire first part of it is a 6-minute instrumental with amazing leads. Not only guitars, the bass leads are absolutely smoking.
All the instrumentation does a fantastic job.
It's got a real like Liquid Tension experiment groove to it.
The proggy roots really come out. The jazzier, the more fusion-y stuff definitely comes out. And
I mean, again, look at the lineup of musicians. You know, that's what you'd think.
Yeah.
Like, it would be there.
Yeah, it definitely didn't make sense to have some of those more contemporary sounding, safe radio rock kind of jams at times.
Yeah, and
this album,
that really took away.
When they had things like this on it as well.
It's like, just like this little hidden gem on here, and you're pretty much like, well, this is absolutely awesome. Where was this earlier?
Give me an album of that, and I will shout it from the fucking rooftops.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, there was like another like more experimental track that I did like, When Snow Falls, which kind of has like a Peter Gabriel sort of vibe.
The beginning of this song reminded me a lot of the band Portishead, which is the furthest thing from metal, period. It's more like trip hop, but it was like that, but instead of Beth Gibbons, it was Ray Alder. Yeah, and he turns in a solid vocal performance. Like, he has a really solid range on here. This one I just thought was kind of an interesting track in terms of them like breaking away from like the more modern rock stuff. Yeah, this was definitely softer, but I thought it was actually a pretty decent song, even though it was
maybe a little outside the box for them, but I think they at least executed pretty well. When it came down to like the other ones that were just there, those are the ones I really struggle with. And that unfortunately is like the pacing of the album. You get a nice front-loaded part. We're like, all right, this is gonna be a fun album.
It's gonna be a jam, and then
you
you're
get to the middle of the album, like, wow, the energy just kind of got sucked right out of the room.
It's like driving through Kansas.
And then you get this
Nothing.
incredible song towards the end. And you're like, wow, wait a minute, that's amazing. Where was this earlier? So that was kind of my issue with this album is, man, I felt like I had to wait through a lot of stuff that I normally wouldn't listen to.
And for an album that's, what, an hour and 12 minutes long? For an album that's an hour and 12
There
minutes?
wasn't enough good material.
Yeah, dude, to make it that long. Yeah,
album.
they could have made it a 4-song EP with the last track being the 11-minute
Make it a 6-song
longest shadow of the day. Like,
Incredible.
that would have been fucking sweet.
So yeah, this was a good listen in a way, and then a real difficult one in another way. I really loved the songs that I really liked on here. Like, I thought those were really solid, just straight up prog metal. It's the other stuff. I don't even get why it's there when it's compared to the other material. It feels out of place. So overall, I'm gonna give this 3 stars. I like the material that I heard that was really good, and I think that's the saving grace in here. Almost the entire middle of the album, though, is just kind of pedestrian, especially for the caliber musicians they have in the band. None of the songs really had much impact, but when you get down to the nitty-gritty towards the end, man, that's a huge payoff. I could listen to that song over and over and over again.
Dude, and I probably will. Yep.
Yeah, that's one to cycle through again.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this record a 3 as well. I mean, first of all, the 3 of us at this table I would call prog fans, for sure. Listen to a lot of great music. And the people in this band, yet again, it's mind-blowing. Such great musicianship leads to such, like, lackluster. It wasn't...
Mixed bag.
Yeah, like, it wasn't so much of a prog album as it was a rock album with some proggy elements, most notably in one song over all the rest. I expected better from the songs that came in the opener. I did not expect 5 songs of just, like... The 11-minute track on the album is what saved it for me, too, because I was going to give it a 2.5, but then this song just whooped my ass. And I said, all right, 3. So, 3.
Prog is all about taking chances and incorporating influences and going against the grain, non-conventional. And sometimes it works.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't. And that is the absolute perfect motto for this album is sometimes it works.
Yep.
But sometimes it doesn't. And the middle of this album doesn't work as much, especially considering the talent that we hear in various spots.
Yes.
This is not the direction that I would choose to go. I would take all the strong things about this album and continue to build upon it.
Yes.
Yep.
Because there are some excellent things to be had with this album. I'll give this a 3 out of 5 as well. There's excellent musicianship.
Yes.
They are still some of the OG godfathers of progressive rock, progressive metal.
Again, the lead work in this album is
Scorching.
nasty.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing, too, that I didn't really talk about as well is I like the fact that this guy, Ray, sounds kind of like Paul Stanley from Kiss a little bit. And that adds a very weird element to it, which makes it unique and kind of all its own.
Or Blaze Bayley.
Yeah, or Blaze Bayley from Iron Maiden, if Blaze Bayley decided not to be so monotone.
Yeah. I mean, his solo stuff, I guess, is a lot better. I don't know. I haven't listened to it. So.
Allegedly. So, this is it. This is the end. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye. Oh, yeah, don't we have to... Oh, that's right. We got to tell them the whole thing. So,
Protocol.
If you like what you saw here, please hit the like and subscribe button because we do excellent material like this all the time for your viewing pleasure. Also, you'll notice the little bell that goes dingy, dingy, dingy like my dongy, dongy, dongy. Hit it and you'll be notified of all the excellent videos we release on the daily. So, on behalf of my cohorts who are still shaking their head because I said dingy, dingy, ding dong, I am Shredlord, we are the Thralls of Metal, and we will catch you later.